Guys, so what's up? Diogo here. I wanted to share with you a little bit of a reflection or a perspective considering the concept of self improvement. Like, it's goals that motivate us, right? It's goals that make us want to improve. It's when we look at our lives that we see we're not living as we could have been living, we're not as happy as we could be, or this guy has this and I don't have it. It's all motivation, it's all nice, it's all good. But the thing is, one, the the sadness or the unmotivation is important. The upset has its part, but it comes to a point where you suddenly realize, like, okay, if I was everything I wanted to be, and if I had everything I wanted to be, where would I go next? Like, imagine you have all the money, you have all you want, you have all the mental structure or whatever that you want, and imagine that you're your ideal self or your role model. Now what? We only set up limits based on our perception. And based on our limited perception, our role models or our ideals are what lies on the horizon. But we need to realize that once you get there, there's always another big horizon. And if we keep pushing the ball, like, I'll be happy when I get there, or my life has meaning when I get there, like, you're pushing the bucket of happiness, like, up to infinity. And once you reach there, you realize that you weren't happy to begin with. You weren't happy throughout the journey. You didn't enjoy your life. You didn't enjoy your day. So, it's basically an outdated model. And as some mentors said to me, like, we can't be satisfied, but we may be happy. We can't be satisfied because if we are absolutely satisfied, we have no drive for life. We have no goals. We have no vision. But we may be happy because it is in the fulfillment of those goals, it is in the fulfillment of the vision that we become the person that we want to become. At first, it starts like, oh, I want to be better, just for the sake of being better. But then you start realizing that you have the potential to touch and to transform millions of people's lives. Like, it isn't just like it's just me becoming better or me serving. It's the composite. Like, your evolution carries it with it the seeds of other people's evolution. Your ideals, if you embody them, carry with it the seeds to transforming everyone you come in contact with. Once you start realizing this, you start seeing that although in your self improvement journey or in the fulfillment of the dreams or in pursuing your dream job, your dream career, whatever, sometimes a lot of people, including people that you love, will say, well, why don't you get a 9 to 5? Or why don't you get a regular job? Why don't this? Why don't you that? You can still love them, but realize not making them less than what they are. When you were a child, you couldn't see past what you knew. Like, when you were a child, you have no idea what sex was, for example. Once you got to puberty, like, oh, everyone knows that. Like, and the thing is, people can only see for what they know, what they thought of, and what is there in their world. Most people sincerely don't try to realize higher goals. They don't seek to realize higher truths, higher sources of information, and that's okay. Everyone is the master of their own path. People don't need to be in conflict. It isn't because someone you love disapproves of what you want to do that you don't need to be offended. You don't need to accept. But you can respect. Just like, at least I talk for myself. 5 years ago, if this talk, if I had this talk with my 5 year 5 years ago previous self, you would say, "You're just talking bullshit, dude. Like, I just wanna have a nice job and a nice car, and it's all right." But time passes. We evolve, and now we look back and we ask ourselves, "Oh, how could I not seen this?" Like, it's evolution, baby. And realize that, come on, for those of you that enjoy the sense of freedom, we got to be unfuckable. Like, really unfuckable. Because we're not gonna conquer, we're not gonna create a culture based on union and happiness and truer concepts than the culture we are living in if we don't embody them. Like, one great philosopher, I don't remember his name, said, you got to become the change. You can't merely talk about it. You can't merely dream about it. You got to become it. And it's in the becoming of the change you want to see in the world. Initially, there's some kind of resistance because you're acting differently than you acted before. Secondly, you're acting in a contrary way to what the majority of the collective is acting. Thus, you may initially find some resistance. It's like going to the gym the first times. Like, oh, I don't want to go. Then you go the second, the third, oh, it's nice. After 6 months, oh, I can't stop going. Just like that. Realize then that it's a natural part. It's a natural part. Every human being seeks to become their fullest version. Naturally. And it's in the seeking that we find. That's the strangest thing. Like, the truest spiritual seeker is not the one who finds. Like, the really illuminated master is not the one who has stopped becoming a seeker. He's the eternal seeker. He's the one that witnesses the unfoldment of life in the direction that he seeks because he seeks. And he is the seeker. And also the found. Strange. But in my perception it's kind of that, like, well, uh, I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel I feel like I want to share something else. Like, it's important for us to never stop the seeking. Don't stop the dream. Um, there's always a better way to live, to exist, to share happiness.